Hey, Mike from MyTekki here. I'm going to talk to you about converting from a PC to a Mac. Now, there are a lot of people out there, they're getting ready to upgrade their computer, such as my sister. This is actually where I got this idea to make this video. So, they're getting ready to upgrade their computer or change, and they're considering a Mac, considering the fact of how small it is, how much it weighs, versus how much battery life they get out of it, all the pros and cons of the Mac itself. Now, a lot of people are afraid to jump into the Mac platform because they're afraid of the new things that are in Mac. It's completely different than Windows. I want to kind of show the similarities between the two and then some of the differences as well. Now, we've all installed applications on Windows. Now, before I get into the very basics, I want to get into application installation. One of the main most concerns from people with using Mac is the way that you install applications and get rid of applications. Now, I want to get into the very basics now. These are two different types of programs here. I have Rosetta Stone. Just happened to be in one of my software folders here just randomly. So I just recently installed it for myself. So, and I have another thing called Alarm Clock. Now, you notice that each one of the things have a .dmg at the end. Now, notice a DMG is basically what they call a Mac image. And image specifically for Mac. Let me restate that. So what is an image? Imagine you have a CD in your hand, okay, and you take that CD and make it into a file, okay, and that file is now on your computer. It's almost the same exact thing as a zip file. It's pretty much an image, or in this case, of the CD, but in a non-compressed format that is standardized throughout all of the system. Now, that might be a little bit over your head. So let's go back to the basics. It's a zip file, basically, with no compression. Let's make it easy, okay? So basically, it's a way to allocate all these files into one file, and then just simply have it be able to be mounted as an image. That's probably the easiest way I can explain it. So let me explain. So if you have a DMG, what it's going to do, it's going to mount the DMG. So basically, open up the DMG, act like if you inserted the disk into your system, and it's going to put it on your desktop as an icon. So let me show you, for example, for Rosetta Stone. It goes ahead, verifies the DMG is accurate and the MD5 matches. So you can see that it opens up and you have Rosetta Stone. Now notice that this Rosetta Stone install is asking you to double click on the Rosetta Stone package. Now know there's a PKG here. Now this is basically an installer file, kind of like similar to Windows. You have the MSIs and the .exes that you normally click on, and you normally click on next, 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 and you would install the application. It asks you where you want to install it, all the whole 9 yards. This will do something very similar. So this is very similar to how you would install something on a PC, right? Only difference, two things. Mac will have less customization as PC. PC, you can put it anywhere you want, in any folder. Mac has specific ways they have to put it in different folders. You can select a different drive. However, the way the Mac installs it itself, it wants the compiler takes care of it for you, which does limit you. Now, there's other ways of explaining this. For example, let me show you one thing. Also, it also mounts it. So basically, it's like you putting in a CD. Now, there's no way of you hitting eject on the keyboard and having you eject this thing. But you can now right-click on it and say eject. It's pretty much the same thing. Just imagine you're doing everything virtually. Okay? So now, let me show you the difference. Now, that was similar to Windows. Let me show you how Mac gets a little bit different. Now, this is basically you double-click on the alarm clock. This is another little application. It's really cool. Little simple application. Integrates into your iTunes and a couple other things, which basically allows you to put an alarm clock on your Mac. Okay? So it's this is the old applications folder. It looks like from like Windows like 10.4 and Tiger. Probably even lower than that. Probably OS X 9 or OS 9. But this is basically telling you drag here to install. So this is nothing but a shortcut to your applications folder, which is actually under your hard disk. And on the left hand side, or right here, is under applications. All that is basically a shortcut to this folder. So when you drag from here to there, it's going to basically copy this app. Now this is basically like another image with a .app extension. It's like an archive that's compiled for you guys to run on your Mac. Okay? So basically you double click on it and it launches the app because that's what Mac knows how to do. So If we go ahead and drag it there, we can install it. I've already installed it, so I don't need to. But that's as simple as installing this type of application. When you launch it for the first time, it might ask you for some preferences or something of that nature. But that's basically the gist. So now let me go ahead and show you something. I'm going to go ahead and eject this. So basically pulling that disk out there. Now, just like Windows, Mac installs a lot of preference files and everything else, and you'll notice it as you get further and further in using it. But here's a basic overview under the main hard drive, so you can label whatever hard drive you want. Under the library and the application support, you're going to notice that there's a bunch of different applications. Now you can see that we have the Neat application, and then there's a bunch of like P-lists and COM preferences and stuff like that. This is what I'm talking about, where the application will install more things and more COM file preferences and everything else onto your system than just simply going ahead and dragging the file and getting rid of it in the trash can. So let's say, for example, I wanted to delete that alarm clock application, okay? So let's go here and let's go to our applications folder, and I should have my alarm clock application in here. I do. And I want to delete it. If I drag this into the trash can, will it delete the application? The answer to that is yes. Now, will it delete it properly and fully? The answer to that is no. Now, the reason why I say this is because it's going to leave a lot of preference files behind, a lot of COM files behind, and a lot of P-lists behind. And a way to make sure that you get rid of kind of everything, it's not a guaranteed way to get rid of everything. If any application ever has an uninstaller file, please use that. It'll be a lot easier, and it will make sure to get rid of everything. But a general overview of what you can do is you can get an application known as App Cleaner. There's a couple other out there, App Zapper and Hazel and a couple other ones. But App Cleaner is definitely a decent application that's free. And basically what you do is just simply drag it onto it. I mean, bam. App Cleaner will go find the COM files, find the plist files, and find any other DMG. And for example, it found the actual installer file on my desktop, and it will say, "Do you want to get rid of this?" And at that point in time, you can go ahead and uncheck the ones you want to keep and everything. So in this case, I don't want to get rid of anything, so I'm going to just hit cancel. But as you can see that the App Cleaner will recursively go through all the folders and make sure that you clean that up. Okay, so that's one big difference. Now, imagine the big hard drive up here in the upper right is like your My Computer, okay? So if you come in your My Computer, you get this. You have your devices where if you plug in a USB drive or anything else, it will show up on your devices. You have your places, which you have a quick shortcuts on your left-hand side when you go to save files. You always see those places on the left-hand side. For example, My Documents, My Music, My Videos. They've increased the capability of adding things on the left-hand side of Windows 7, but this is something very similar. You can add anything you want. So, for example, if I want to add this, I can just simply drag and drop, and boom, I've added a shortcut to this folder. Okay? So that will also show up any places you go to save a file or anything that will show up on the left-hand side. It's very useful if, for example, if you're going to save things in different locations consistently. Okay? So that's just one thing to show you. Let's see what else. Now, okay, so they have the search function now in Windows 7, kind of like the where Windows Vista came out, and you hit the start key and you start typing and it starts searching for you. As long as they indexed it well, it should work. Now, back in like OS X Tiger 10.4, Spotlight wasn't that helpful. There's a couple of good applications out there known as Quicksilver, Quick Search, and a couple other ones that were really good applications that did a good job in indexing. I won't get into what indexing is, but basically it helps you find your files very quickly. Okay, so they've improved big time in Leopard and Snow Leopard on the Spotlight functionality. So just for a quick overview, what is Spotlight? Spotlight's, like I said, a quick way to find files or applications in a timely manner rather than clicking through a bunch of things. So if we launch Spotlight, we can either push Command Space, or we can simply click on the Spotlight up here. Either way works. Let's say I wanted to open, I don't know, let's quit App Cleaner. Let's say we want to open up App Cleaner. So we launch it, type in the app, and it already knows from us going to this, all this stuff all the time, that it's going to find that App Cleaner top hit, and you're going to go and hit enter. With only typing in 3 characters, I'm able to get to that application. Don't have to click through a lot of things, which is why you see that my start menu is pretty empty. Now you notice that it's actually going through my entire system now and saying, hey, my applications you have is App Cleaner that matches. My system preferences, I have sharing. My documents, I have entire Server SQL, recent documents, applications, Worldwide Developer Conference. There's a bunch of things that match just the keyword of app. Now, I just wanted to go ahead and show you that because it's really key if you want to go ahead and find files or folders on your system. It will definitely match and do an intricate search for those key terms. So this was just a quick overview. If you have any other questions, please feel free to write, comment, and subscribe. I'll be more than happy to answer the questions you have and hope this will help you out. And again, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.